Aziraphale and Crowley are back on Prime Video's Good Omens, and this time, they're on yet another mission to save the world. When we last left them, Aziraphale made the heartbreaking choice to leave Crowley and return to heaven, hoping he could actually change things from the inside. And that was devastating, especially because Crowley had just poured his heart out, confessing his feelings, and even kissing Aziraphale in a last-ditch effort to make him stay. Their paths split after that decision, but as always, a brand new crisis pulls them back together. And after one roller coaster of a ride, the story wraps up in a 90-minute film that ends on a truly heartfelt note, confirming that yes, this is the end of Crowley and Aziraphale's story. Spoilers ahead, so if you're not caught up, you've been warned. Season 3 was always meant to be the finale. Here's the thing. Good Omens was always planned to end with Season 3. The show is based on the book by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. Season 1 adapted the events of that novel, but since there's no published sequel, Season 2 introduced a completely original story. Season 3 was meant to continue from there and bring Crowley and Aziraphale's journey to a definitive close. When the third season was officially announced back in December 2023, it was confirmed that it would be the show's final season. And just like the first two, it was supposed to be a full 6-episode run. What happened? The Neil Gaiman allegations. But that plan changed. In July 2024, Tortoise Media released a podcast called Master: The Allegations Against Neil Gaiman, in which two women, a former nanny and a fan, accused Gaiman of sexual assault. Gaiman has denied the allegations, but by October 2024, he had stepped away from the show's third season entirely. Production was put on hold, and major changes had to be made. The original 6-episode arc was condensed down into a single 90-minute special, essentially a feature-length finale, designed to give fans who had followed these beloved characters for 2 seasons a proper, satisfying conclusion. How the story was restructured. Rather than leaving everything hanging on a massive cliffhanger, the creators chose to rewrite the story, keeping the soul of what it was always meant to be, while dramatically compressing the timeline. And honestly, even if the show had gotten its full 6-episode run, it still would have ended here. Crowley and Aziraphale's story was always heading toward a conclusion, so fans are still getting that goodbye, just in a different format than originally planned. How Season 3 ends, and what it means for the future. In the third and final part of Good Omens, Crowley and Aziraphale finally get their happily ever after, in a completely different timeline. It's the ending they deserved, but it also makes it clear that their story, as we know it, cannot move forward from here. That said, there is one door that remains open. The show has always woven in standalone flashback stories. Almost every episode has taken us back through the millennia to see how these two crossed paths throughout history. If the characters were ever to return, those standalone adventures would really be the only way to do it without undoing the resolution we've been given. Who could return? Of course, none of that would work without the two people at the heart of it all. Michael Sheen and David Tennant as Aziraphale and Crowley. Beyond them, there's a whole roster of brilliant actors who could potentially come back. John Hamm as Gabriel, Shelley Kahn as Beelzebub, Ned Dennehy as Hastur, Dune Makichan as Michael, Quellen Sepulveda as Muriel, Liz Carr as Sarah Kell, and Gloria Obiano as Uriel. Nina Sosanya and Maggie Service could also return, continuing the fun pattern from seasons 1 and 2, where they each played completely different characters. And it would be absolutely wonderful to have Frances McDormand back as the voice of God, narrating the duo's adventures across space and time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more.